International Volunteers Day to all volunteers worldwide. Today is a day set aside to celebrate volunteers, and I can say that it is something that is worth doing. Why? Because volunteers make the world a better place. Yes, they contribute their little quota into developing the society and ensuring that growth does not lack in the society, and so they are worth celebrating. So today I'm going to be sharing my little experience so far as a volunteer in Save the Deaf and Endangered Languages Initiative. I can tell you that it has been a wonderful experience. Although it's not up to a year I joined the team, but the little time I've spent, I can say that it is something worth doing. Okay, now talking about my experience in S-DELI, I've really experienced great moments. So far, I'm not certain I've had any low moment, I've had any down moment, although I'm still new in the volunteer business and it comes to the S-DELI organization. But then I can tell you that I've had wonderful moments where I learned a whole lot, moments where I understood things better I didn't understand before now. And one of those moments is actually the Indigenous Hands and Indigenous Voices session. Yes, that session is one session I really do enjoy because you get to know a lot about the deaf and mute community and their language. So that session has really been one session that has helped me. It has helped me to know more, and it has shaped my mentality towards these people. Yes, it really has. And then talking about my fun moments in S-DELI, one moment I know I usually look forward to is the who is who in S-DELI. Yes, that moment is one moment where you don't just take notes, you don't just hear people talk about their experience, but you also feel relaxed and laugh. S-DELI is that interesting. So that has always been my fun moment, and I always look forward to that moment because it's nice the way the hosts usually handle the session is unique and spectacular. It's really great being a volunteer in S-DELI. Now, someone may be wondering, what do you people really do in Save the Deaf and Endangered Languages Initiative? But one of the main things we do in S-DELI is that we advocate for deaf communities. We enlighten people about deaf communities. We want people to come to know that an individual is born deaf and mute doesn't mean that life has ended for that individual. We want people to come to realize that deaf and mute individuals deserve to be treated like every other individual. We want people to know that there is great ability in what we might call disability, and that for the fact that someone is deaf and mute doesn't mean the person should be treated like an outcast. And so how do we do this? We advocate, we sensitize the people, we sensitize family, we enlighten communities, we enlighten even the deaf individuals themselves to let them know that they deserve better and they shouldn't look down on themselves because of their situation. Yes, because every individual has something great in them. So we make them know that no matter how society views them, they should see that they can do more and they can be more. So we start by, first of all, encouraging families not to look down on their deaf and mute children, because I believe that if deaf individuals have the right support system from their family, friends and relatives at large, then that could go a long way into shaping how they view themselves. That could go a long way into helping them achieve what life has for them. These and many more are the things we do in S-DELI. And so today I want to use this opportunity to just say a few words to all volunteers out there. I tell you, the volunteering journey, it's not an easy one. Yes, it's not an easy one, especially in situations where you do not get any financial gratification. I want to advise that as a volunteer, financial gratification or whatsoever gratification shouldn't be the first thing on your mind. Yes, especially when the organization is just starting, when the organization is just still trying to find its feet. You should do your volunteering job with all happiness, with all joy. As you consider volunteerism, consider the fact that the organization should be in line with your passion, should be in line with what you love doing, should be in line with your dreams, something that will just help you so that as you get involved in it, you wouldn't see it like a burden. Rather, you see it like an opportunity to be a better you. Yes, and that is how I see it in S-DELI. S-DELI, I've always looked forward to being a volunteer in S-DELI because I love anything that has to do with language. And so when I got that opportunity, I was very happy. And God helping, I've been learning a whole lot. And I hope to learn more and also do more with time as we proceed in the volunteering journey. So today, once again, I want to say Happy International Volunteers Day to all volunteers out there. Happy International Volunteers Day to all volunteers in S-DELI. I tell you, S-DELI has been a wonderful place to be, and I strongly believe that it will continuously be a wonderful place to be. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I am Miss Daniel. I joined S-DELI in 2018. It was that same year I had my first volunteer experience in Abuja and Kaduna during the workshop and documentation respectively. I had my low time in Kaduna during the documentation. I listened to the deaf, some of the deaf persons recounting their stories of how they became deaf and the struggles they had with their friends and families, because most of them were not born deaf. It was quite sad. My hard time in S-DELI, volunteering in S-DELI, was during the documentation. We worked hard. We could barely sleep. We did the notation during the night and did the documentation, the recording during the daytime. We gave in our best. But I have to thank God for people like Val and Sam. They made it fun, even in Abuja. They made fun of the two names, Ilan and Audacity. They made sentences such as, you have the audacity to Ilan me. It was really fun. So I believe S-DELI has impacted many communities, like the Nigerian community, and even other communities that are in. So my advice to the volunteers in S-DELI and all around the world is that you should keep doing what you're doing, volunteer in the way you can, because it's good to put a smile on somebody's face. And then Happy International Volunteers Day to all the volunteers all around the world.
Happy International Volunteers Day to all the selfless volunteers around the world, because it is a service to humanity. My name is Blessing Ini. I am the head of Sign Language Interpreting Department for S-DELI. This is for a period of 4 years now and still counting, because I don't want to stop volunteering any soon with S-DELI. I am a sign language interpreter for the deaf community in Nigeria, and I am currently volunteering with S-DELI in the capacity of a sign language interpreter. Currently, I've been featured in some of our series on YouTube, Facebook, and all social media handles, and one of those is the Indigenous Hands, the Indigenous Voices, and also the online certification course for sign language interpreters. S-DELI missions aligned with mine because I am a sign language interpreter, and I seek to bridge the communication barrier between the deaf community and the hearing community. And without language, there will surely be a communication barrier. So S-DELI is currently documenting the indigenous Nigerian sign languages, and that is one thing I am passionate about, because for a deaf person to communicate effectively, there must be a language, a national language, which they need to learn and use in their daily lives to communicate with each other and the world at large. My high moments was in Kaduna, the Imagajingari community, where we started the first indigenous Nigerian sign language documentation project. I saw the team work. I mean, it was selfless, if you ask me. Pure selfless service, and that's what volunteers do, right? Okay, so the deaf community there used their own indigenous sign language, their own local sign language, to communicate with themselves and to express themselves without any issue, without any misunderstanding. For me, that was it. That was the high moment. My low moment, no, I'm an S-DELite for life, and there will never be a low moment. Okay, so my fun moment was when I had to go swim with the team members in a swimming pool in the hotel where we lodged, and I didn't know that some team members doesn't know how to swim, especially Ohakwe. Ohakwe almost drowned, but I saved him. He will remember. In the next 5 years, I see myself still volunteering with S-DELI. Wow, S-DELI has really impacted in the deaf community in Africa, especially Nigeria. I think the big impact S-DELI is currently doing is the documentation of the indigenous Nigerian sign language, which is vital to the development of deaf communities in Nigeria. Because without a language, there is no community, and without language, there is no communication. Thank you once again. Happy International Volunteers Day to all selfless volunteers out there. Bye.
Hello, my name is Simi and I'm the Organising Secretary at S-DELI, and I've been a volunteer for almost 5 months now. My volunteering experience began creating content for the social media pages, as well as for upcoming programs and events that were happening over the summer. And then since then, I've started branching out and working on other projects within the organisation, namely the Beauty Beyond Speech initiative. The S-DELI mission and vision fits into my personal beliefs because I too am passionate about advocacy, outreach and education provision for young people in the most vulnerable communities. I am also a sign language student and a sign linguistics student, and I'm very passionate about using language as a means of accessing education. My high moment experience with S-DELI, I can't think of just one particular example, but just any time that our content or our programs or events are a success and they get shared with the audiences, and people just begin to engage with S-DELI and they enjoy what we're talking about or the projects that we run, those are the best moments for me. As a volunteer, within the next 5 years, I definitely still see myself volunteering with S-DELI. I hope to really improve on my skill set and my knowledge, and be able to progress within the organisation, and just keep developing and working on new and exciting opportunities within the organisation. advice for volunteers around the world would be that to always look for volunteering opportunities wherever you can, because it's absolutely crucial work, and volunteering is a two-way street, and it's a very positive transaction because you're able to give back to either your local community or your global community and make a difference in other people's lives. But you can also, as a volunteer, benefit from that yourself by learning new skills, meeting new people, and just overall just improving yourself. So I would definitely say to volunteer as much as you can.
Hello everyone, today is International Volunteer Day and I'm happy to be a volunteer at S-DELI. Volunteering is about selflessness and it has broadened my mind because serving humanity and impacting lives positively has brought me personal fulfillment. My advice to volunteers around the world is to continue the selfless work and be a positive change for the benefit of all. Happy International Volunteers Day!
I am Dr. Martha Chidinegent. I teach at the Department of Linguistics in University. Actually, it's barely 1 year I have worked as a volunteer in S-DELI. I came to know about S-DELI through a free sign language WhatsApp training which I participated in. And I joined the training because I have passion and special interest in clinical linguistics. And because also I teach psycholinguistics, I find it very interesting getting acquainted with sign language and the deaf. And S-DELI offered me that opportunity. And so when Dr. Ima Sonyi, the CEO and the head of Project Global, proposed I joined the team of S-DELI volunteer, just like a marriage proposal, I did not hesitate to say yes. And I must say it has been a smooth ride since then. I would describe my experience with S-DELI as thrilling, exciting, eventful, and rewarding. It has been packed with a series of activities, right from the WhatsApp training I had to my giving a public lecture on sign language rights for all, towards the development of indigenous sign language to commemorate the International Sign Languages. And then currently the upcoming conference scheduled to hold in January 7 to 8 on the theme Indigenous Hands and Voices of African Identity. Discourse on language rights is one out of the many line-up programs in S-DELI. The S-DELI's vision and mission is in tune with my career path. As a matter of fact, my earlier papers I published as an academic are in line with the S-DELI mission of providing technological-based innovations for deaf education and providing early language and intervention programs for deaf children. In addition, research is a core area of every academic, and documenting Nigerian sign language and deaf population is one of the things I love to do. One of my high moments with S-DELI is when I presented the public lecture I mentioned earlier. And my students made it all exciting to the audience with their signing presentation. It was quite fun and interesting. And I think I was very, very in high spirits after the lecture. I don't think I have had any low moments since I joined S-DELI. I would rather say that with S-DELI, there is no dull moment.
Hello
Olamide Fatosin. I am a new S-DELI volunteer, and while I have not been opportune to be involved in any of the programs that S-DELI has held so far, I cannot wait to be involved in the programs it's going to hold in the future. I am so excited to be part of this family. I'm so excited to be volunteering for S-DELI. And I really can't wait to see the things that I can do, to see the things that I can add to S-DELI as an organization. Happy International Volunteers Day.
Okay, high moment experience with S-DELI. There are so many high moments experience with S-DELI, because with S-DELI, I would like to say there is never a dull moment. I could remember during the Indigenous Nigerian sign language documentation. Yes, that was in Kaduna. It was so wonderful. I mean, getting to meet same deaf community, but how the signs are being done differently. So you see how the happiness you get to witness, seeing these people seeing you, knowing that yes, they are not left alone. The marginalization that they might have faced for years, these people are coming here to give them joy and all of that. So it's a wonderful experience doing that documentation alone with Kaduna. And also during the International Day of the Deaf 2018, oh my goodness, it was awesome. So I would say with S-DELI, it's really been from one height to another. One thing I would like to say for us, as many that are willing to give in their time and energy into volunteering, I want you to know that it's a service to humanity. I mean, fully well that it's a service to humanity. You look beyond what you stand to gain. You look above yourself, because a man has not really lived until he has done something to someone who cannot repay him back. So I'd like to say, as many out there that are willing to volunteer in one way or the other, through their skills, their resources, service to humanity is also service unto God. So it's very, very important, even as we celebrate the International Volunteers Day. From my own, I'm calling as many out there to put hands together to make our society a better place by reaching the unreached. Thank you.
My name is Nelson. ever since the year 2016, I have been under this NGO S-DELI, but not as an official volunteer. Officially, in the year 2020, September to be precise, I officially joined S-DELI as a volunteer. In the recent TAP program, Triple Action Project, I joined in broadcasting and inviting persons all over to join in the TAP program. They could watch it from the comfort of their homes because it was a virtual program. Because of the corona pandemic, we had to all stay at home, and from our individual houses we could connect and watch it virtually. I've always had the goal of helping deaf persons in general to be able to communicate freely, especially using Nigeria Sign Language, because deaf persons in general in this country, Nigeria, they understand that language better and clearer. They enjoy communication in that language using Nigerian Sign Language, and so it helps them understand clearly. Unlike signing exact English, it's not easy for deaf persons. So I want to help deaf persons to understand this language, Nigerian Sign Language, and that is what S-DELI is also about, to help people to understand this language so that Nigerian Sign Language will not become extinct. S-DELI, they supported me in writing my JAMB examination, and have sponsored my university education. This was quite exciting for me. When I made physical construction models, building models in my school, Kuje, this white lady with Dr. Ima Sonye, they came to my school and they saw my beautiful project. They snapped it. They were excited. That was fun for me. In the next 5 years, I want to be an advocate. I want deaf persons in general to get formal education, to learn from my skills, and also I want them to develop in Nigerian Sign Language so that the language will not become extinct.
Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca Akimpelu. How I came across S-DELI. Yeah, I was introduced by a friend. Afterwards, I participated in all activities, including the online sign language class that was offered for free then. During these classes, I came to know about S-DELI, although some left due to some misconception, but that didn't discourage me. I keep moving because I know that S-DELI advocates the indigenous sign language that many of our dear friends understand. These S-DELI team members are making a lot of sacrifices, which includes not collecting a dime from anyone to achieve this purpose. And this is worth emulating. Have you ever had a passion? A yearning to get to somewhere but you didn't have the opportunity? Have you ever thought that serving someone could give you a life you dreamed of? Well, from S-DELI's activities so far, I've realized that serving others can build one life up. Personally, I've enjoyed working with the deaf for the past 22 years, and I love sharing information with them, telling them about events happening around them, sharing the experiences they need to hear even though they are deaf. I have passion to help them because I love them. To me, volunteering is a give and take process when you have the passion and intention to help. I volunteer for S-DELI because to me it means meeting people with various passions and intentions to help. Well, we get many things from volunteering. Among these are teamwork, being a critical thinker, and being a problem solver. You see, these three things mentioned can be taken directly to our professional life. So, I will encourage everyone out there who has the passion to help to volunteer. Because when you do volunteer, everybody wins. I say, Happy International Volunteer Day to all volunteers around the world. Love you all. Bye.